volunteer organization. Yes, I'm a college professor, and that means I'm bringing to you the most valuable skill there is. Because being on a university faculty, being on a volunteer organization have one critical thing in common. You can't tell anyone what to do. The only way you can make things happen is to incite people to do something they want to do. That's why, when you're at college and you hire a senior military officer, or you hire a big businessman as your college president, you can be sure disaster is imminent. Because businessmen have great training. It's the wrong training to handle volunteers. It's the wrong training to handle college professors. I'm a college professor. I'm used to getting effective things done. I'm used to smashing into the ground, very politely, so they think they have the idea. Anyone who fools around with Robert's Rules of Order rather than substance, and by the way, you know, we keep talking about grassroots up. That works in academia. I've seen it happen. You want a successful academic program, it launches because you've got people who want to make it work. You have the president decree an academic program, it crashes and burns. I've had the practice in dealing with volunteers, and I promise you that's what we're going to be. A grassroots, grounds-up, volunteer organization, and we're going to be successful. And we're going to do all the things we need. The New Path plan is out there. I will give you one thought, though. Compare Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's campaigns. Yeah, their issues disagree with us a bit. What was the difference? Hillary Clinton ran a also 20th century big donor failure. Barack Obama, based on small donors and electronics, he won. He may not agree with us, but he won, and we should copy his right ideas. Method, not quality.
Let me start by asking you to write down my hospitality suite number. It's 1922, and the party begins after this debate. Yeah. And I'm going to show you how a real CEO manages a party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is about the big picture. That's what this is about. Don't get fooled. Those of you who know Canada kind of reminds you of the Libertarian Party. The little guy that tries harder, that's kind of quiet and shy and reserved, and never takes the pretty lady home for the date. Always in the shadow of the United States of America. But a funny thing happened in the last Winter Olympics. Canada got an American CEO to run their Olympic program. And that CEO brought an idea with him. To get the whole country electrified, he said, we're going to own the podium. And I want you to buy in. And it took him 4 years to get the Canadian people to buy in. First they thought, come on, that's silly. We don't win in Canada. We've never won gold medals in the Olympics. We're not a big country. We're not showy. We're not flashy. We're not number one like America. And we actually feel funny saying we're number one. But he got them to buy into the mantra till the whole country said, own the podium. They raised hundreds of millions of dollars, and the Olympics that just ended, Vancouver, 2010, it worked. That small country won 15 gold medals, the most of any country in the history of the Winter Olympics. We need our own mantra, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta buy in, we gotta believe. It's own the election podium. Own the election podium. And it's build the big tent, and it's burst that tent till it breaks its seams. We gotta believe it. We gotta know it in every fiber of our body. We gotta understand it's David against Goliath, the LP against the Democrats and the Republicans, and America loves an underdog. And ladies and gentlemen, I've got the biggest rock, I've got the biggest sling, and together we will take down Goliath. Thank you.
One thing that I have grown to know as I've been a libertarian activist is that there's way too much fear. If you're afraid, they already won. So I didn't show any fear, but I do want to know what the truth is. And I give you an example. You hear a lot, there's a lot of stuff about, might not voting or advocating for voting and so on. Let me tell you the rest of the story. The Omnibus Trade Impediments Act of '88 is what got me going. Inch-thick law. I read it. My father, export international trade, and I saw what people now call the New World Order. Man, I'm going, holy crap, this is not what they were telling us in junior high school. They are going to do some bad stuff. My wife and I said, look, man, here it comes. But I wanted to know, how is it they got away with all this stuff? It was election law. They eliminated competition before it started. Libertarians know this more than anyone else. And I go, no. So I ran for Secretary of State in '94 because electronic voting was coming. I saw what they were going to do. They passed legislation. I ran against the Speaker of the House, Republican, and the President of the Senate. They passed legislation making it illegal for you to ever compare the paper with what the computer said. And they asked me, Mr. Hancock, do you really think there's election fraud? Absolutely. I got proof. Oh, here comes the cameras. Zoom in on it. They passed legislation making it impossible if you ever find it. How much proof do you need? Oh, let's talk about the weather. So what happened? It goes, it's 2004, enormous election fraud is found. Arizona Senator, a guy named Jack Harper, did a Senate subpoena. We want the ballots. We're going to count right here in the caucus room. FBI showed up hours later. You never heard about it or saw him again. In 2006, I ran for Secretary of State, and I go, what? You're still voting? After all this, you're still voting? We got mandatory validation passed that year.
First thing I'd like to do is thank the Admiral for being moderator today in his for 6 years of service on the LNC. The Admiral was always a reasoned voice on the LNC, and I very much appreciate his service. And I'll also thank my fellow candidates here for the chair. This undoubtedly is the most expensive chairs race in the history of the Libertarian Party because they care, and we should all applaud them for that caring. It means a lot to them, it means a lot to me, and judging by the audience, it obviously means a lot to you. The future of the Libertarian Party is in your hands. You decide where the party goes forward. Do we go forward united or divided? I pitch to you the idea that a united party, a successful party is united, a divided party is doomed to failure. One of the things that I bring to this organization is the experience as chair of the California Party. I bring the experience of serving in just about every volunteer role that this party has to offer. I know what works, I know what doesn't work. I have been told by many people that I'm everybody here's second choice. But I also think that I am a candidate that can unite this party, build this party. I've got the track record. I have the endorsements of 6 past national chairs, 2 past national vice chairs, 2 past presidential candidates, and a host of current and past LNC members. I think I've got the experience to make this party grow, and I urge you to support my candidacy and others who are going to be part of the team. Thank you.
Since Mr. Root announced the party, I offer the other candidates, if they choose, to make a similar announcement.
Texas is having a freedom party, room 434.
I'm going to both their parties. Because he's such a great guitarist and represents the future of this movement. And wherever he is, that's where I'm going. We're going to be playing all over the place.